All right, it's Resurrection Week, and I am flooded with some beautiful divine downloads and high thoughts every single day. For the past year, I've actually been getting them very frequently, and I liken them to be the ancients downloading their mentorship to me. I have held on to this story all year, but it is in my book, Just Be, Unmasking and Becoming Human Again, because it is a sacred story for me. It is a sacred story of how I chose to live as I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. It's like, what are the things and the detours that I've taken in my life? What are the things that I've learned? And I'm realizing as I'm recording this right now, I know I look like anxiety from inside out. Maybe because I do have anxiety, which again, when you watch that beautiful movie, it's a metaphor for life of many people who are probably neurodiverse like me. And the metaphor is that it takes a village. Whatever you're afraid of, people around you love you. It's going to be okay. You belong. You know, all these beautiful stories. Shout out to Disney Pixar. Between Inside Out and Soul, beautiful, beautiful stories for how to be a good human. And so that is my story in Just Be, Unmasking and Becoming Human Again. And so this year I've just been collecting all of these beautiful divine downloads and high thoughts. And so a divine download is when I feel alive, like when I'm in gratitude, organically flowing in gratitude, and then I feel like the universe speaks to me and I'm like, ooh, what was that? A synchronicity? Why do I keep seeing it? Now I start identifying it as a pattern, and that pattern becomes a story. And then I chase the story. I just go down this rabbit hole, like we say, and I chase the story and the meaning to understand how that makes me feel, if that is me or not, and how I've just kind of chose to do that. And so the story starts with another story, right? I grew up in Western religiosity, and I studied many of them, the ones that made me feel human, the ones that made me feel worthy to be a woman. And I found that we're just missing the mark. We're right there. We're right there for what we consider Christianity or this Western religiosity, this belief system, this society, this community. And so I've studied that for many years, and I studied to understand who am I in this placement of the universe, of the world, and how we have it divided so, because I am 1/3 of 3 nations of people. So how the hell do I navigate life being a woman of color, being a woman now who I understand is diverse and questioning everything, finally getting answers, and then regulating those answers, alchemizing those answers into my nervous system so I can survive the way I walk amongst everyone on this planet, because I believe we are all inherently love. Like the movie Soul describes what I believe. Like, if I could put stories together, children's stories together, it would definitely be that. I mean, all of them, all of the Pixars, all of them are beautiful stories of how we all see the world and how we navigate the world. And so that's why I love creativity. I love playfulness. I love children and their imaginations. And I'm starting to realize, like, there are more people like me out there, especially those who are now getting a hold of my book and saying, I've never had the words for what you described in here. And I'm like, there's more of me. There's more friends. Yay. I know that sounds crazy to some of you, but for me, that's how I regulate my nervous system to not burn this place to the ground. Because we have that ability, right? Women are divinely and uniquely made for a reason. And I feel so much passion burning inside of me daily about helping people unlock, helping people unmask, helping people unlearn, helping people decolonize and feel into the frequency of love from the heart. I feel like that is my message, that is my mission, that is what I believe and how I walk amongst this planet. And I'm sure there's other people like me, and I want to show you how I'm doing it, because it's scary, hell yeah, but it's fun. And it's frustrating, but it's beautiful. It's so interesting to look at humanity outside of yourself, how to look at the zillions of stories we have told ourselves just to survive on this planet. And we are coming to a point where we're asking, why are we fighting so hard to be here? Like, and be here alone at that. Like, why would you want to destroy a people? Your people. They're reflecting who you truly are in the heart. What Western religiosity has taught me is that what Yeshua has taught us, right? So many of us want to proclaim that we are his friend, truly his friend, but you don't know him. You really don't, because if you did, you would know all of his friends' stories, all of them. And by that I mean the Divine Mary Magdalene. Last year, exactly 1 year ago, I received a beautiful, warm download introducing itself as the Mary Magdalene. Now, I am coherent enough to know that I wasn't being possessed by something, because I clearly had control of the scenario and the conversation and the situation. It was beautiful. How I describe how I felt in that moment was, if you've ever been on a foggy, sunny morning and you look outside and you just kind of get this warm hug feeling, like, wow, you can't see anything, but you can feel everything. And it's so, on a warm, sunny, foggy morning, that's the only way I could describe like this light and this fog kind of energy that surrounded me for 6 days. Woo, child, in those 6 days, honey. Again, let me just back up a little bit. Rewind. Mary Magdalene is one of many women disciples whose stories went untold biblically and in Western religiosity. But the truth shall set you free. It is risen. Like, the story has come out. They have evidence, scientific evidence, that her story and many stories are out there, the Gnostic text. And so while I spent time in Judaism, I had learned a little bit about the Gnostic text, but I didn't dive too deep, because I was already convinced that what I was learning about that particular culture of Hebrew Israelite movement, I was like, I'm pretty convinced that yes, our stories have been removed intentionally because we have forgotten who we are, and we must remember who we are. And so because I was walking in at that belief space, I believe that Mary felt comfortable coming to me, and has come to so many other women and men. Oh my gosh, she has come to talk to some folks and be like, hey, can I tell you my story? Because these fools don't believe me, and I need somebody to believe me right now. Like, women, we know what this feels like. We know what this feels like to be rejected, respected and rejected at the same time. Like, what the hell is that? How does that feel? And so I've ended up manifesting this kind of revelation that Yeshua told us everything. And why aren't we just living like that? Like, why are we making this so damn hard to live and grow and progress together as a humanity? Like, make it make sense. So what I did is I made it my life lesson to learn over a 9-year period. I was like, I need to understand what I don't understand. Why is this, that, but they're separate and they're bad for each other? Make that make sense. Because as far as I'm concerned, I live amongst the plant kingdom. This is where I come in the winter or the cold months, because I can't be outside and see the beauty, lushness, and I really want to live in the tropics, but life. So I try to make sense through understanding all of the sciences as best I can. Even if I just tap it, like, I don't need a degree, I don't need a certification, I just want to tap it open. Okay, that makes sense for that. Thank you, that's a puzzle piece. I'm a pattern princess. I am a systems thinker. And so I have decided that I believe why I'm uniquely designed and what my purpose is here. I know my purpose. And every time I see it manifest, I get really, really passionate. Like, I can do what Yeshua taught us to do. I can do these things. And so as I made that more of my belief in life, I believe Mary felt like she can entrust me with some information. And whoo, child, did she tell me some things? Mary, oh my gosh, girl, I'm blushing. Yeah, she stayed with me for 6 days. And she said before she left, with all of this information, which I feel like I'm ready to download into a mini virtual series now. She and my celestial council have entrusted me with this. And my celestial council are the ancient teachers of wisdom keepers that I keep locked inside of my library, right? Like these are the folks, I've read their books, I've studied their patterns, I understand their human structure and their human design and their mission, and we're all uniquely designed. We are a puzzle piece, we are a code for a frequency. Like all of it is true. I think it's so cool. All of it is true. Who am I to argue with you what I believe, to try to force you to believe what I believe? I don't really give a damn if you believe what I believe. What I'm suggesting to you is that, are you sure there's not more? Are you sure there's not more? And why can't you find out? Why can't you go search for the answers that you need? And so in searching, it led me right back to my friend Yeshua. And he was like, I want to introduce you to Mary. And Mary said, girl, yes, everything you are experiencing right now, those feelings that you're feeling, that rage that you're feeling is true. And here's my story. And she shared with me some insights about who she was and what her purpose was and what she was ordained by Yeshua to do, and how her friends, the disciples, not all of them, because we got some that are allies, but those disciples deceived her and they disrespected her and they dismissed her, and it just continued, right? So she was like, the cycle and the pattern continues for women and we're sick of it. We're growing tired. We are going through this kind of menopausal experience, and whether or not we're even in menopause, like the babies are experiencing it too. So she was just like, this shit got to stop. This shit got to stop. Tell your story and tell others to do the same. By the end of last year, over 600,000 women left the workforce. Some of us forcefully, some of us willingly, but we were like, we're out. We don't want no parts in the system anymore because you ain't about what you say you're about. We hear what you say and we see what you do. No, we're not participating anymore. And so I was amongst this frequency of women who stood up and said, you're going to put some respect on us. You're going to value our worth. We are removing ourselves. And so in this removal, in the Western part of the world, you kind of see this shifting happening, this crumbling and this questioning of who we are in our moral core. And some of us are inside of this system, trapped here, or so we believe. We are trapped here and we're trying to figure out, how do we rewrite the system? And as someone who has spent time in technology, serving in the military, like I have worked in strategic systems, strategic structures. And so I understand how the system is supposed to make people feel. I understand how we have manipulated the system for our personal gain, how we have decided to not participate in the system and are waiting, how we are creating and just kind of expressing ourselves in healthy, creative ways until the green light, whatever that becomes, right? Whatever the signal is, we are all going to know what it is. We are all going to know what it is. Some people are saying right now it's the new earth. And it's this concept, right? This concept of heaven over hell, as above, so below. It's beautiful. It's like a bouquet of flowers for me. Every time I get a piece of information that connects to the other piece. And it's like, yes, and yes, and yes. You're not wrong. You're wrong when you do not allow free will. That's when you're wrong. And so women who have experienced what Mary has experienced, what Kuan Yin has experienced, what some of Lakshmi has experienced, and so many other beautiful stories of divine women that have come to me this year. I've collected so many of them. Like they're like, hey, since we talking, I'm gonna pull up a chair, introduce myself, and express to you what the story is behind who I am and how that relates to who you are. And Isis and Hecate and Hathor, like they have come to me recently, and I'm like, girls, oh my gosh, I did not know that. I did not know that about you. I can relate. 2026, I can relate. What is going on that we keep returning to these feelings and we keep returning to these systems? And so thus is the force of life, right? Ebb and flow, the frequency. It's like creating and destroying in real time. Is creating and destroying. And when we get tired of one side, we shift to the other. And so these are the images that they have given me from their divine wisdom. Like I say I can't make this shit up because society thinks my brain is broken. I'm neurodiverse. I'm neurospicy, right? I have ADHD, I have anxiety, and I'm going through menopause. You would imagine that back in a time period, they would either lock me up or burn me. So I'm not saying I'm any of those things. I'm saying I get it. I get it. I don't need the label of what I'm becoming. I just need you to know my name is Bahati Hart. How fun is that? Like I named myself. How fun is that? What a beautiful birthday gift I'd given myself many years ago, is to recognize the divineness in me, in you all, and to understand that's what Yeshua was telling us. Mary came to confirm it. Everyone else is confirming it. And I'm like, okay. So his flesh was destroyed, as is with the death of the person. His flesh was destroyed, you all. Abomination. The way you hate someone that much to destroy their body. You are an abomination. Whew. She's shown me images, and horrific. Why would he want to come back to that, is what she says. She said he's not coming back. He has downloaded the code inside of us. So we will see him like I saw him when the rock was rolled away and I went in and he was not there. And the download, the angel that came to her said, he's not here. Then where'd he go? And when you finally reach Christ consciousness, explore it, Google it, look it up. Christ consciousness, this concept of this human that came and said, I figured out how to get out of here, y'all. Let me show you how to get out of here so you don't fear the experience while you're here. We don't know when our time is up. And I've experienced that recently. Like, gosh, why are these babies, why are these young people leaving so fast? Why are they dying? So I explored it. And gosh, it's beautiful. You see, I've died 1,000 times. I've felt that feeling of existential dread. And so I searched it out, like in Soul. When Jo went looking for 22 and she was in this kind of dark place, dark night of the soul. Some people call it that. I did the shadow work. It was beautiful because it just reminded me again, like, you don't hear my story. Fear has a story. Fear has many stories, thousands of stories. And we just don't listen to them. We're not, you don't have to agree. You just have to witness and say, oh, that is also true. Not for me, love that for you, but that is also true, right? I explore. I love it. Because we are so fucking creative. Everybody's so creative. And man, Mary told me so many things. Anyway, I have a council now. Yeshua, Buddha, and more keep dropping in. More keep dropping in to say yes. And there are people who have been ancestrally in your lineage who know. There are people in other cultures that know. There are people in other genders that know. Everything was designed for us to learn how to elevate. I mean, isn't that the goal of every religion, is for us to elevate and to ascend to God or as God or with God or like whatever it is. It's always about ascension, but we don't want to come down to earth and keep going deeper and keep digging deeper until we get to the heart of things, the root, the whole reason why we're here and not here. and have that moment of what I call the sacred pause, which is literally between life and death. It's the moment that you inhale, pause, exhale. That sacred pause allows you to decide, do I want to keep going further? Am I truly living from my heart's passion? Is there something down there that I haven't addressed yet, or haven't allowed to come forward and speak to me and tell me its story? Like, where did you come from? Where did you come from fear? Where did you come from imposter syndrome? Where did you come from being disrespectful? Like, where did that come from? Why are you here? And so that has been my journey this year, with all of my friends, all of my girlfriends. So beautiful. And as I share my story piece by piece, other women are like, me too. Oh my gosh, me too. I thought I was going crazy. No, you're not going crazy. You're basically a telephone operator at this point. The messages many women and men are receiving about this openness, this loving, like, let's stop fighting and let's just hug, or let's high five, or let's dance. Like, let's do something to witness each other and experience each other in a new way. And here we are again. Dearly beloved, the dream we all dreamed of. We're gathered here today to get through this thing called life. Good grief. So many breadcrumbs. So many breadcrumbs. Find the ones that feel right for you. And by feel, I mean descend, go into that heart center and address those fears. Address the fears that are causing you to live in hell, that are causing you to feel stuck, that are causing you to feel like you're losing yourself. If you're feeling that, then you pick up the phone, answer the pager, look in your DMs. Like, we're not alone in this. And we're not all bad. Some of us are a lost cause. Let's just be clear. Some of us are a lost cause, and it is somebody's challenge, but it ain't mine, okay? And it ain't a lot of ours. Some of us are here to witness. Some of us are here to speak, sing, dance, create. We're all here to create. And if there's too much of one thing, that means we're imbalanced, and we need to become coherent about what we need to do collectively. And this is the message. That's the message. Like, literally, we're all in this together. It's not hard unless you want it to be. And some of us are getting tired of that. Really tired of that. Yeah, that's the message. My divine download / high thought, like, they come in when I'm meditating, or they come in when I'm medicated. But nonetheless, they are one and the same. And today, it just, all the signs said, go record the message in lieu of our friend's resurrection, to remind people why he came here. And many of us have a version of our story of what we understand that to be. Share that. Put it out there. Let's put some good energy out there and put some respect on his name. Ashe.